Hello YouTube. I thought I would do a little bit of a just showing my new Fjällräven Kånken backpack, because I found that there weren't really any videos showing the laptop versions, and before I bought this one I really would have wanted to see a video of it, so I thought I'd make my own. This is kind of my first video of this sort, so it might be absolutely rubbish, so do apologise if it's a bit messy and not very well thought through or whatever. It is my first go to do this, so there you go. Anyway, let's start. So this is the Fjällräven Kånken, and by the way, that is how you pronounce it. I grew up in Sweden, it's my first language, and yeah, that's basically how you say it. Repeat after me. Fjällräven Kånken. Fjällräven means Arctic fox, or if you want to translate it literally, it means mountain fox. Kånken it's not actually a proper word. It's kind of a play on the word kånka, which means to schlepp or to lug. So that's why it's called Kånken. Anyway, I went for the Fjällräven Kånken laptop 13-inch one. The reason for that is because I actually don't have a laptop, I have an iPad, and I thought, well, I don't want a really big bag because I'm not that big, and I grew up with the Fjällräven Classic, and this one feels very, very similar in size to the Classic Kånken, except that it's a bit deeper because it has the extra space in the back for a laptop. Also, just to tell you, on the Fjällräven website, they do advise you that if you have a 13-inch laptop, you might still want to go for the 15-inch laptop bag. I'm not really sure why, but I think it eats in a little bit to the space in the main compartment. I haven't seen it, so I don't actually know. Anyway, let's have a quick look at it. So, it looks very much like the Classic Kånken. This colour, by the way, is sold in the UK. It's sold as tan. In Sweden it's sold as sand. I think it might also be sand in America, I'm not sure. To the eye it looks like light brown, basically. You know, that's not fancy schmancy this. It's just light brown, basically. Has a front pocket with good zipper, like that. Same as all the Kånkens. This tag doesn't come with it, but come on, you know, who doesn't need a ghost on the bag? Also, these tags don't come with it, it's just me adding, you know, Sharpie, because that's handy to have. This is a reflecting badge, so it's quite good when you're walking around and it's dark out, so cars can see you. It has two side pockets, like so. They are large enough to fit a 500ml soft drinks bottle. Sadly not large enough to fit any of the commercially available filtering water bottles, because they're a little bit too big, as you will see later on. I generally just keep a pen there because it's just handy to have that easily. And of course, you know, I've got a fan in there because, well, you know, everybody likes to have a fan. It's that kind of funny as well. Really, really dainty fan next to a quite rugged backpack, because it is really quite durable. I've had Kånken since I was in primary school, since they first came out, and I've never had one that hasn't lasted up to 10 years. That said, I've always had more than one at the same time because I like having a few different colours and stuff, but they are extremely durable. I do want to point out, because there's a question that does come up every once in a while on different websites, and people ask if it's waterproof, and the truth is, it isn't. It's not waterproof. What it is it's water repellent, because this canvas bag is sort of impregnated with wax, and you can actually get spare wax from Fjällräven as well, to sort of make sure that it's as waterproof as it can be. I've never had a real problem with it soaking through, but then again I do wax them every once in a while. Sort of every, I don't know, 3 years, because I'm kind of lazy like that. By the way, you don't have to buy the Fjällräven wax, you can make your own. It is basically just a mix of beeswax and paraffin wax. I think it's sort of 1 part beeswax to 1 part paraffin wax. So you can make your own. I'm lazy, so I buy the stuff and pay the price for it. Anyway, yeah, in that pocket I've just got a fan and a pan. Could fit a drinks bottle in that quite easily. On the other side, another pocket exactly the same size and fits, you know, a pretty good size brolly. This is not one of those micro brollies, it's one of those sort of regular size ones, you know, kind of compact but not that big. In the front you've got this pocket that I talked about before, and this might be quite embarrassing now because I just realised that I've actually not checked what I've got in my bag. It's not packed to full capacity, but I just thought, oh, I'll show you what I've got in it. But now I kind of realise that there could be some embarrassments in here because I had no idea what I've got in it. Anyway, I just wanted to point out that this front pocket, I think people think of it as you know, just a sort of an extra bonus and not really something you might use. It actually fits quite a lot. I would say it's kind of like almost like a small handbag, kind of in the amount that you can fit in there if you wanted to. I'll show you what I've got in mine. I've got my phone in there. I'm going to check that out of the way. I've got my iPad. That's not an iPad. My iPod. Cash pouch with very little cash in it. Tissues. I've got smelling salts, because you know everybody needs smelling salts. Yes, it does exist. Allergy tabs, lip balm, inhaler, Oyster card and credit cards. Oyster card, if you're American, is basically what us Londoners use for travelling on the tube and on the buses. Some lactase tabs. What else is in here? Oops, I'm not going to show that one. That was my work ID. I've got 3 pens. Could definitely fit more pens in there if I wanted to, but you know, don't need to load it. Some lozenges. Nail clippers. I think I'm getting to the end of it now. Hair clip, band-aids. I usually have tons of those in there. I'm running out. And lock picking tool. By the way, I don't break into people's houses. It's just because well, it can be quite helpful to have them if you lose your own keys. Normally I do have keys in here. I have it right now because I'm at home. Alright, so that's the front pocket. Then we're going to move on to the main compartment. Has hands that you can carry it like that if you want to. This snap thing. Double zipper tags, which is quite handy because when you're packing it really full with stuff, you can really open it up like very properly. So this is what I've got in it at the moment. It's not, like I said, to full capacity. Okay, so I've got some cubes in there, which probably you won't have, but I do. My bubble filter water bottle. Like I said, it's a bit too bulky to fit on the side pockets, which is a shame, but that's not Fjällräven's fault. Got a jacket in a bag, always handy when it starts raining, you know, in London it rains a lot. A book, my journal, graphic book, and yeah, that's about it in the main compartment. As I said, that wasn't actually packed to full capacity. You can fit quite a lot more into it if you wanted to. And then in the inside of it, you've got this back pocket here, where I personally keep my, just follow my name, my allergy kit, because I've got an EpiPen and stuff like that in there. Quite handy. And what else have I got in there? My passport, I didn't even know I had that there. Look at that. It says Sverige on it to prove to you that I'm actually from Sweden. I don't know if I have anything else in there. Oh, a couple of envelopes. And as all the Kånkens, it comes with this sort of pull-out foam seat thing, which I think when people aren't from Sweden, they They all sort of think, why is that in there? Well, that's because initially this was marketed to school kids, and so it's for when you go on picnics or outings, school outings, or whatever, and you're sitting down in the woods and you want to sit on something, so you just pull that out and you sit on it, and that's why it's there. It's really, really nice and heat retaining as well, and in terms of for your back, it actually feels quite nice to have that against your back. So that's the main compartment right there. And now the main attraction that makes this different from the classic Kånken. Well, firstly, it has different straps. The normal classic Kånken only has sort of this bit. It's not padded or anything like that. It's not super fancy padding or anything this, but that wouldn't really go with the Fjällräven either, to have something super fancy. But it actually does make a difference. I noticed that today when I was wearing it, because this is new. And it does feel different. And I do like it. So I'm glad I went for that. And this is the compartment to put your laptop in, or in my case, it will have my iPad in it, except right now I'm using it to film. And again, I apologize for that, because I don't actually have a video camera. That's why I'm using my iPod. Why do I mix up iPods and iPads today? Really ridiculous. Anyway, it's kind of hard to show, but that will fit apparently a 13-inch laptop. Like I said, I haven't got a laptop, so I can't actually check it. It easily fits an iPad in here, and I could probably put 2 books in there as well as the iPad. With the old Kånken, I used to put my iPad back here, and it also fits very easily in there, both actually in the mini and in the standard size Kånken. But it was a hassle when I was going through airport security, because in order to get to this, you kind of have to take everything out of here. So you end up taking everything out and then repacking it again at the airport, which is not always so much fun. So that's why I thought I'd go for this, where I can just easily take that out and show security that I'm, not carrying anything I shouldn't be carrying in. Anyway, that is my quick sort of overview of Fjällräven Kånken laptop, 13 inches. Like I said, this is my first video. I do apologise if it's a bit disorganised and a bit weird. But I thought I'd put it on there because I couldn't find any other good videos actually showing the laptop bag. I did find one, I think it was in Polish or well, it was in English anyway. So I thought this might be helpful to someone. I hope it is. If it is, feel free to comment or like or subscribe, whatever. I don't really upload that many videos, but who knows, in the future I might. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.